next reader is Laura McNeill. Laura McNeill is the daughter of Louise Pelton, granddaughter of Ella Mueller, great-granddaughter of Johanna Moser, and mother to Luke and Levi. Please welcome Laura reading Fupa.
Endorphins pumping, my nasal passages cleared, and all I could smell was fresh, clean, deep. Exercise was so healing, too rare, and incredibly wonderful. I soaked in the unusually warm March day as my feet pushed down on the pedals, eyes lost in the rotations of my front tire. Body all to myself. Kid-free for a couple of hours. What could be better than this? I paused at a stoplight to grab a drink of water. All of a sudden, I heard someone yelling, "Fupa! Hey, Fupa!" Are they speaking to me? I wondered. I glanced over across 2 lanes of traffic and saw 3 young men in a pickup truck, one leaning out the window, shouting, "Fupa! Fat upper pussy area." The words came slowly, drawn out. Fupa, louder and more succinct with each successive rant. I remained straddled across my bicycle, clothes clinging to my sweaty body, and indeed, my lower belly bulging. My lower belly, that which had sheltered and created new life inside. My roots of motherhood. I entertained the possibility that the young man was not using me as his target. Unfortunately, there was no one else around. And the persistent sting of his harsh delivery began to wear on me. I found myself harnessing the image of a yellow sheet of paper that had come home in my 6-year-old's backpack, entitled Bully Strategies. Say stop. Present self as strong and assertive. Be friendly to bully. Change the subject. Tell a grown-up. Ignore. Walk away. I chose to ignore the bullying despite the young man's desperate attempts to gain my reaction. I did find myself hoping, though, that the people who had started to pull up in their cars, windows rolled down, would speak up. Alas, courage was on hiatus that day. It had been a while since I'd received a put-down, my body objectified. I had forgotten that it hurts. Childlike, the man cried out, "Fupa!" cried at the motherhood in my body, my womb. And it is from this targeted place that I saw this young man as another mother's son. Then, the heavy-hearted thought that my sons, too, may one day degrade the people in their lives hit home. I thought about my friends who have received hurtful words and actions raged upon them because they are poor, queer, non-white, a unique gender, undocumented, or differently abled. Fupa hammering a reminder to me that it's up to us to cultivate something more positive and beautiful. The light finally turned green, and I pedaled slowly away from that place, now etched painfully in my mind. After riding a few more miles, I felt the sting in my eyes and let the tears roll. The cold winds whipping across Lake Monona sealed their salty rivulets onto my cheeks. I breathed deeply down into my abdomen, welcoming the release. And it is from this wounded place that I felt healing and forgiveness begin to gestate. That night, as I was getting my boys ready for bed, my 3-year-old asked his nightly question. Big eyes looking up at me, dimples flashing, he crooned, "Mama, can I touch your belly?" I felt gratitude rush in, and I relished my body through his eyes. It was our nightly ritual, begun by his brother before him. Ripe with warmth, softness, and motherhood, my lower belly had been crowned their post-breastfeeding spot. The place that continued to give skin-on-skin comfort. Tonight, I wasn't annoyed or impatient, as I sometimes could be. I was acutely present in this moment, realizing its power. I simply said yes. I snuggled down beside him as he kneaded the mental and emotional wounds out of my lower belly. Placing his warm, open palm flat across my abdomen, finger hooking into my belly button, his body relaxed into mine, and we fell into an intoxicating sleep. Who knew that grace could take the form of such small, healing hands, offering up a communion that made me feel beautiful and whole again? That the universe, karma, God, would bring 2 small boys into my life to turn the tide with their tenderness and help heal that which was wounded. Oh, Fupa, how you provoked a man to cry out in confusion and violence, and a boy to nestle to sleep.